18 draws to close because we are possibly, fingers crossed, heading into Alpha 19 in 7 Days to Die next week. I wanted to show another 5 bases that I've made that I'm quite happy with in general. They're not perfect, but they were really fun to make and sort of trying to figure out how to make them work in a unique fashion. So I'm going to be showing 5 of them today, explain the basic how they work, and show them in action as well. I'm sure you made something similar for yourself as well, but this is my take on these concepts. And if you've enjoyed my Alpha 18 content, you definitely will be enjoying my Alpha 19 content that is coming starting next week. As part of the stream team, I should be getting the Alpha 19 version on the 26th of June, which means I will be streaming on the 27th and the 28th, most likely at around 11 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, and which should be 3 or 4 p.m. in Europe, and of course it's really late here, 11 p.m. for me in Asia, but that's the sacrifice I have to make. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you get notified, and of course ring the notification bell. But first up, and on number 5 is my deep fall trap. So this is where I was looking at how can you make a fall trap that doesn't have just one fall, but has 2 falls. So that you take damage, maximum damage coming down here on hitting the first one, and then take another bout of damage coming down into the bottom here. And I made a sort of a floating bottom where zombies fall down, they get buzzed by the electricity, and you can stand up here and just shoot down and try and kill them. One of the things that I didn't do back then, because obviously most zombies don't actually die here, I didn't do anything other than manually kill them. And I decided that, hey, after that video I spent a little bit of time in making a bit of a kill chamber here where they will fall down, and of course I want to give them somewhere to run, so they will run up here. They will try to run across here, and over here they'll get stunned by the electric fence, and either way they're going to fall down these slippery slopes. I can stand here and just pick them off one by one. So any that survive the fall, any that survive me shooting them down there or throwing grenades or whatever, will be running up here, falling down and restarting and running up. So they won't be getting to me, but I'll be able to kill them. We should be getting the Blood Moon Horde here. Yep, here it is coming in. And I'll show you how it works. I have, I think, about 16 concurrent zombies, so it's a little bit more than usual. They will run up here. Slippery slope will make them fall down. And then they will hit this first one, as you saw, and they'll slide in and hit the second one, so they'll take extra damage. So most of them take double damage here. They take a third here, and then they take almost a third more coming down here. And of course they get hit by the, let me get out of that view, they get hit by the electric fence as well. And then they come out here. And this where we can stand and shoot them, because they're being buzzed by the electric fence, which is in a really nice place for me to actually give them some headshots. So this was the only thing that really was needed last time that I didn't have. Initially, I didn't have this small little kill corridor, and it works really well. I could have put in some traps, obviously, dart traps, etc. But I wanted to show how easy it is with just a simple base engineering to give them a path to fall down. And obviously now we're getting a unfortunate little demolisher, which can make massive damage, but he should be stunned here as well if he ends up coming up this slope, which he probably will be. Nope. Did he die? No, there he is. And there he died. Sorry, he lost his head. So, this one works really well with this addition. Nice experience as well. It's not 100% safe, but you can see the concept and how it works. The next one, and that's 4 on the list, is the one that is really unassuming, because I wanted to make an underground base, and I wanted to make a way that I can come in with my vehicle without having to, go pick it up all the time. So this is what I came up with, well, as you can see, open the garage door, open the garage doors, and I can come in here, and there you go. All nice and safe. I can go down here into the rest of the kill pit, etc., and I can have my base up here if I want to. And the idea is that the zombies will come down here, lots of dart traps on the side, and they will sort of path through this small little maze with all these small hatches, which actually worked really well. And you can stand back and just shoot them or melee them if they get close enough, throw Molotovs and whatever, or you can just hide off on the side. And it works really, really well, actually, surprisingly. And it's a really, I think at least, an awesome way to make an underground base, because you don't necessarily always have to pick up your vehicle when you go down. So how does it operate? Well, I got motion sensors. I got them chained up through signal pass-through, where the one on the outside there or the one on the inside will detect me. And if that's the case, it will open up. And apparently I duplicated my motorcycle here. Again, this seems to happen quite often for some reason. But anyway, that gives me an extra motorcycle. And yeah, it worked even if on your foot, of course. As you can see, during Blood Moon Horde, it's really, really effective. I mean, there's really no risk of the zombies breaking through, because they all want to make it through during the front. They want to go down, they want to get down to your level, and then there are all the dart traps on the sides, and of course electric fences that basically stun them and skewer them. And because I put in the hatches, they actually have a really long path that is much longer than just front to back, because they have sort of zigzag through, and that makes it even more unlikely that they're going to reach, because they'll have so much more darts to play with, or rather to get skewered by. So it's really, really effective way of doing it. And either way, if they get up here, well, the poles in front are preferably steel or reinforced concrete, and it will take them a while before they can even break through. And of course, you'll be standing there actively defending. If not, the dart traps probably will take care of them. Really fun base to make, and I like the addition of the automatic garage port that opens up and closes. Coming in on third place was my drop and catch base. So I wanted to have a concept that was fairly simple, but that you could reuse in, well, a lot of different ways. So actually here, since I'm getting some friends in here, let me just show you how this actually works. So all you need is, you need a place that has at least some kind of edge so that you can build off it. People have suggested using like Higachu or Dishong Tower. But in a nutshell, the zombie will walk up here, they'll fall down, and did I keep it open or not? I'm not sure. Yep, it's open, and which means they'll fall all the way down to the ground. Now, if I wanted to, I could, and let's see, is this one? Refuel it. I could do that. I can switch everything on, and oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, he got electrocuted, but now I opened the garage door, so that gives him a way to actually get stopped. He gets caught here, which means that he will restart walking up here, and he doesn't know where I am. That's pretty cool. He thinks I'm still up there. See how long that lasts. Oh, no. Now he realized that I was behind him. But it's a really simple concept. You hang it off something. A cliff is really good, and they will just loop here if you want them to. Land here, and that's really nice, and it gives you an opportunity to get the experience. And if not, they will fall down and just loop up and come up again. So you can really decide what you want to do yourself. Do you want to have them just fall down to the ground, maybe die, or just get out of the way, or do you want to get the experience? And even on a high game stage, loop bases like this actually work really well, because they're all sort of working the same way. They lure the zombies into a path that they cannot complete to get to you, so they reach the end, or rather they reach where you decide the end is, and then they start looping back because they really want to get to you. And this is probably something that the Fun Pimps will try to remove in Alpha 19, but in Alpha 18, it was a really fun and effective way of making bases. And the second place is taken up by the combination of the water and sea base. And the reason I made it out here, as you can see, I'm fairly far from any land, which means that there would be no zombies spawning here whatsoever, because zombies spawn up to a certain distance depending on what kind of zombie spawn it is. So I made basically a base here where you have a nice place, nice cozy place here, and then you have some water falling in apparently. Where you can spend your time and everything, and this is actually underwater, which looks really, well, a little bit weird actually. You can see some of the water inside the water. weirdly enough, but it has a lot of the comforts that you would need to have in home, just sort of to show off what you could do here. And it's all underground. Of course, you could do even further down if you wanted to dig down to bedrock, etc. So I really liked that part of the base. What I really wanted to show off was how to spawn camp these zombies. And I show that technique in some other videos, but in a nutshell, I basically created a nice little spawnable area here, which was fairly long here, and it would cause the zombies during the Blood Moon Halts. And actually, Wandering Halts and Screamer Halts would work the same as well. They would spawn in here, and they would run towards the player or move towards the player, and then they would get killed by all the dart traps here. And of course, I have dart traps firing down from the top as well, from the sides and everything. I have multiple. I triggered something in multiple paths, and of course you can loot from the bottom as well. That's really important. And this one was a really massive build, but it was really fun to sort of figure out how the spawning worked and then take advantage of it. Not that I would necessarily recommend you build a monstrosity out at sea, but you could if you wanted to, and you could take advantage of the spawn mechanics to just farm loot, to just have a really safe place out when there's a Blood Moon Horde. Because of the construction, there's no way for the zombies to get to you. They'll run up towards you, they'll get hit by the electric fences and the dart traps, and they will die, and any loot will fall down at the bottom, and that will repeat for the whole night until the horde is over. So it's really effective. It's really simple as well, as it doesn't use any of the weird zombie pathing mechanic as such, because there's no slippery slope or anything. It does use, however, the zombie spawn mechanic, because, well, I figured out exactly how they worked, and that was really useful in building something like this. But if you don't want to fight the Blood Moon Horde out here, then you could just have a base, and you don't even have to fight anything at all, because you'll be entirely safe. But what's the fun in that? At least have some action during the Blood Moon Hordes. And my top favorite base is on number one. Actually, it's not quite a base. It's not a zombie base, at least. It's more like a clubhouse. It's a base that I made for sort of thanking all of you, especially the Patreon members, who have been supporting me across all of Alpha 18, and in some cases, obviously, before that as well. Actually, and of course, it's built in creative, but I kind of like the way it turned out, because I wanted to have a way to sort of recognize people based on sort of their contributions and their support over the years. I also needed a kind of a cozy place to make some of the videos. If you've seen a bunch of them, you will know I've made definitely some up here as well. I made some below and in the backyard, or just running around. I think some of the club, when I was doing the club mod video, I did that here as well. And of course, my expanded decorations, because this is one of them I'm really passionate about, of having a lot more decorations when you're making your bases. And Alpha 19 will have a lot more decorative blocks as well. And if those are not craftable, I will be putting my modelet for building with them as well. So if we get Alpha 19 next week, well, then this one is the last time you get to see this one, probably, and last time I will really spend time here, because I will go into Alpha 19 and make tons of videos there. So big thanks for everyone for your support. And make sure you catch me in Alpha 19 stream on the 27th and 28th of June. I will be streaming some nice Alpha 19 content for you. And fingers crossed, the version isn't delayed. I'll catch you next time in Alpha 19.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.